on the penultimate, that is a fancy word for the next to the last day, day of the General Conference here in Columbus, Ohio. We have with us the Right Reverend Charley Hames, the 66th Bishop of the Christian Methodist Episcopal Church. Thank you, Bishop Hames, for joining us here on the Christian Recorder Dialogues as we give these interviews to our people back home here in Columbus.
Absolutely. It's my honor, it's my pleasure to be with my AME family.
Yeah, so we were excited to have you come here and be with us, and several ecumenical guests have been coming in. We've had the whole almost the whole Pat Methodist family. We've had CME, UMC, AME Zion. Mm-hmm. We've had some, I think some Baptists coming up here too. Mm-hmm. Yes, we did, Angelique Walker Smith. So, first of all, Bishop Hames, being a CME bishop, you got to see the election yesterday.
Absolutely.
What were your thoughts as a CME bishop looking at that election?
Yesterday's election was like watching fireworks unfold. Very similar to our elections, but some of the things that I noticed, the difference nuances, for example, your council of bishop and your general officers have the ability to vote.
That is true.
Which ours don't. Mm-hmm. So that's a very significant nuance, because not only you can support a candidate, but you can vote for them. Another thing is that I see, that's a different nuance, is that, and I've noticed it before in previous general conferences I've attended, is that that a candidate who either is elected and or is conceding can cast their support for the next 3 or 4 individuals. And that will be a faux pas in our tradition. So even though we're very similar, there are small nuances that are very different.
Well, and in general, let's take a step back. What has your relationship been with the AME Church?
I've been in ministry more than 30 plus years. Say, I think it's right, 33, 34 years. From the inception of my ministry, I've had some form of relationship with an AME pastor, AME minister, or AME church. From Chicago all the way to the West Coast. Whether it was in Episcopal, Illinois, major Ebenezer AME church there. I preached multiple times for Watch Night. We would share Watch Night services together. There was other churches that was in that community. Chicago, many of your major churches I've been a part of or been in a relationship with, all the way to the East Coast. Your Episcopal chair. We pastor right down the street from each other. It's literally 1 block between Fame, Oakland, and BB Memorial Cathedral. So just to give you a couple examples. So I've preached at multiple annual conferences in the AME Church, multiple churches. So again, it feels like extended family.
And not just the election, but you've been here to experience the General Conference. So how is a AME General Conference different or similar to a CME General Conference?
Let's deal with the differences first. One of the big noticeable differences is how candidates are able to campaign, or how much material collateral. For example, I was walking through the hallways and I saw door hangers of candidates offering themselves. In our church, that's against our law. So you're very limited to a booth or limited to an area. And then the days leading up to it, I think it's the noon of the day before, you can place your paraphernalia on the tables of the delegates, which in your case you can't do.
Nope, can't do it.
So those different nuances are really glaring. I think in similar, we have the same structure, we have the same general rules, we have the same type of offices within the context of the national church. So you see very much how we manifest ourselves in the same structural expression, which is soothing on some levels and comforting on others.
Yeah. I mean, we're all one big Methodist family, Methodist, Wesleyan, Holiness family. And I remember Bishop Hoyt, who was an ecumenical giant.
Yes.
And I remember visiting the CME. I was at a CME meeting. It was either a CEM convention or it was a CM meeting. And I remember Bishop Hoyt got up and he knew I was there on behalf of the World Methodist Council at that time. And he said, our AME brother is here, but the eyes of the world are watching us, and we're happy to have you. And Bishop Hoyt, for so many of us outside of the CB Church, was an icon.
Yes.
And Bishop Reddick, you know, when I got up to be editor of the Recorder, I reached out to him because he had been editor of the Christian Index.
Right.
And just, you know, it was an honor for me to speak to someone who was publishing and managing a peer publication. And Dr. Sprague and I, we work a lot together, especially now in the Associated Church Press. So, you know, just turning for a little bit, what are some of the emphases, as you all in your General Conference made some very bold statements about how you want to impact this world. So what are some of the things that the CME Church is trying to do? What have been some of the priorities for you for this quadrennium? Because you held your General Conference earlier than we did. Well, we did in 2021. You did in 2022, like right still towards the tail end of the pandemic. So what are some of the things but I remember some of the statements that were very powerful that were made. So what is the impact of your focus for this period?
Well, Bishop Snorton, which is one of the first women to actually give the Episcopal address, because prior to, we did not elect any bishops. So it was fortunate and really an honor for her to have that privilege, even though when she got elected, she was the last in her class. So you never know what a General Conference is going to give you. But her theme was be bold, face now, seek new. And we tried to infiltrate that through a strategic plan, which is we're calling Bold Steps, which is our vibrant church initiative. And we're trying to help each local church thrive beyond to where it is right now. From a regional or an Episcopal district standpoint, when we call ourselves in the 9th Episcopal district is the next level, 9th, is because we're literally trying to motivate, empower, and encourage and inspire every church to go to the next level. We say locally, we want you to reach beyond where you are to where you belong. That looks different from every local church, whether it's a church in Anchorage, Alaska, or whether it's a church in Chickasee, Oklahoma. In our region, we try to get everybody pushing towards that goal. And we've made some major strides already in the last 2 years, going into 3 annual conference cycles.
Wow. And turning to where we are in the country, I asked your AME Zion colleague who was with us this, you know, the state of the country right now, where we are, especially as members of the Black church. What are your thoughts of that as a bishop? Because as a bishop, you provide spiritual leadership and, if you would say, covering to a whole group of churches and members. So what are you looking at right now as we are in this season of election and in this very critical season for us in the United States?
So I just have to borrow the words of our forever First Lady, Michelle Obama. We got to do something, right? It is our call for the Black church at this point and juncture in time, not to just speak truth to power, but to put action behind our words. We got to get people registered. We got to get people to the polls. We have to make provision for those to remove every excuse and come out in record numbers and vote. And vote our conscience, you know. And it's all right to have a song with a part of our English language, a comma, love. You know, it's all right to have one of those, right? You know, to have that in your process, you know. We're not endorsing anybody, we're just talking about sentence structure and a song, right?
Interesting.
Yeah, we gotta have a comma love. Yeah,
Interesting.
Like that. Yeah.
That'll work. That'll work. That'll live. Well, Bishop, we thank you for being here with us.
Thank you.
Any final words that you have for the AMEs who are watching from our CME guest of honor who's here with us today?
Well, I just want to encourage one of the oldest African American churches in this country who have not only pioneered but paved the way in every major obstacle the AME church has risen to the challenge. So I just want to encourage you to keep doing what you're doing. I know this conference was spirited for multiple reasons, but I pray that you're able to heal, unify, and continue the mission of Jesus the Christ and keeping up the bloodstained mantle. God bless you, and thank you for this opportunity and time.
Thank you for coming with us, Bishop Hames. And everyone, we hope that you are enjoying this coverage, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.